Welcome to VK Tutorials. In this video, you will learn about motion chapter, its basics. This video is helpful for students from CBSE class 9 as well as some state syllabus students. So let's see what's motion. Motion, change of position of an object, change of position of an object with respect to time, small t, and surroundings. So what is motion? Change of position of an object with respect to time and surroundings. For better understanding, let's consider a person who is standing at position A has to move from position A to position B. So it will take some time for him to move from position A to position B. And in this due course, after some time, he will move from position A to position B. Then I'll say that the person was in motion. Now, let us understand precisely about the definition. Here the definition states that change of position. Did the change of position happen? Yes, the change of position happened from position A to position B of an object with respect to time. With respect to time, did it take some time to move? Yes, it took some time to move. Now considering surrounding, let's understand about what does it understand by surroundings. Same person has two cases. Same person has two cases. One where he is traveling in traffic, other where he is traveling in no traffic. So you know that when you are traveling in traffic, the motion happens slow. The motion is slow, and no traffic fast. Example is your city lanes, and fast will be your highway. Okay. So now you understand change of position of an object with respect to time means it will take some time for it to move from one position to another, whereas based on the surrounding objects motion will affect. So this is about motion. Next we'll see what are the different types of motion. Different types of motion. First is rectilinear motion. Motion along a straight line is called rectilinear motion. Straight line motion or motion along a straight line is called rectilinear motion. Now next, uniform motion. Next is non-uniform motion. Fourth, uniform circular motion. So we'll see about these after understanding a few basics. Let's start with the basics. Now let's see some basics in chapter motion. First thing is distance and displacement. Let us write the definitions. The distance is total path covered by an object, or you can also say the longest path covered by an object. For example, if we consider an object at position A which has to move from position A to position B, and it is around 1000 meters. Therefore, you say that the total distance traveled by an object from position A to position B is 1000 meters. Here the distance is 1000 meters. This is the total path it has to cover. Another example, if you consider an object at position A which has to go to position C, but there is some other point where it has to stop. So it is going from position A to position B and then from position B to position C. Here if it is 100 meter and this is 200 meter, then the total distance will be, total distance in this case will be AB plus BC, that is 100 plus 200, which is equals to 300 meter. Distance is represented by small d. SI units are meters, small m. Next is displacement. Shortest path that an object can travel. So displacement is shortest path that an object can travel. So displacement is denoted by S. Its units are, SI units are meters, same as. So now let's understand the difference between displacement and distance. If the object has to move from position A to position C, in between there is position B, and if I say this is my 4 meter and 3 meter, so my total distance will be, distance AC will be, so I'll move from A to B, then I'll move from A to C. So I'll say AB plus BC, that is equals to 4 meter plus 3 meter, which is arising to 7 meter. But now if I say to find displacement, what we'll do is we'll use Pythagoras theorem here, because you don't need to go from A to B and B to C. We should find the shortest path. Here the shortest path is directly going from A to C. So we know from Pythagoras theorem, here this is our hypotenuse, this is our base, and AB is our perpendicular. Okay. We have to find by applying Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem states that hypotenuse square is perpendicular square plus base square. Here hypotenuse is AC and perpendicular is AB, whereas base is your BC. So we have AB square as 4 square and BC square as 3 square, which is equals to 16 plus 9, which arises to 25. Therefore AC square is equals to 25. Then AC will be equal to root 25, that is equals to 5 meter. Hence here the person who has to move from position A to position B and B to C, 4 meter, 3 meters and 5 meter. Hence your displacement S is arising to 5 meters. So this is our shortest path. This is the difference between displacement and distance is the shortest path. Suppose you have to go from one place, let's take that is your home, okay, and to another place, your school. The road or the path in which you can travel is like this. Okay, you have no other option but to travel in this path. So the total distance will be covered in, this is if I say 10 meter, 2 meter, and this is 3 meter, 1 meter, 4 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter, 2 meter, 2 meter. You will have to add all these to get the total distance. So the total distance will be 10, 2, 12, 15, 16, 20, 22, 22, 24 and 26. The total distance traveled by you is 26 meter. But if I ask you to do the displacement, you will not have to go. You will have to consider that there is nothing in between. You have to neglect or eliminate all the buildings, all the concrete structures, the trees. Then you have to directly go from position, this position to this position. So this will be our shortest path. Then you have to find this position. So the main difference between distance and displacement, distance is your longest path, whereas your displacement is the shortest path which an object can travel. Now let's see when distance is equal to displacement. Okay. This is your initial position from where you are starting, it's called initial position, and your final position is B, where you are ending at. The person is moving from position A to position B. So distance and displacement is equal when your motion is in straight line path. Straight line path. Because the shortest and the longest is same, your shortest path and the longest path is same, then you can say distance is equals to displacement. Now we'll see when is displacement is equals to 0. Displacement is equals to 0 when there is no change of position. If you are moving from position A to B, you have moved from position A to B and again come back to A. If this is our object which has to move from position A to position B, again from B to A, then I say there is no displacement. If there is no change of position, we say displacement is always equal to 0 when there is no change of position. So from this I can say displacement can be 0 but distance can never be 0. Okay. Our next topic is physical quantities. In physics, the physical quantities are categorized into scalar quantities and vector quantities. Those which have only magnitude are called scalar quantities, and those which have magnitude and direction are called vector quantities. Now let's understand what is magnitude and direction. So magnitude means strength, or you can say how much an object has done, how much it has traveled, how much. Suppose if you punch a person, like at what magnitude did you punch, whether it is a jab or a knockout, the strength of the punch is nothing but the magnitude of the punch. Or in physics terms, if I say a person is moving from position A to position B and he has traveled 200 meters. So what is the magnitude? The magnitude of AB is 200 meter. So distance is 200 meter. It is irrespective of direction. Now we'll see what is direction. If you specify north, south, east, west, then you can say it comes under vector quantity. Or in other words, like from right to left, top to bottom or bottom to top. So all these come under vector quantity. So how to identify whether a quantity is scalar or vector? If I specify that a person moving from position A to position B in certain time, here nowhere I mentioned about the direction, so I say this is a scalar quantity. If a person moving from position A to position B in west to east direction. So here I specified the direction, then I say it is a vector quantity. So I hope you understood the physical quantities. Okay, now let's go to the another topic, speed and velocity. Speed, which is denoted by V, total distance traveled in certain amount of time. Traveled in certain amount of or a unit time. So speed is equals to distance by time. Here distance is denoted by D and time is denoted by S, whereas speed is denoted by V. So from this you can say V is equals to D by T. So units, SI units will be, because the units of distance is meter and time is second, we say meter S power minus 1. Meter per second can also be written as meter per S power minus 1 from your exponents and powers chapter, because 1 by A power n is equals to A power minus n. Okay, we'll see what is initial speed and final speed. Suppose there is an object moving from position A to position B. From where it is starting? It is starting from position A. So I say this is my initial position. If I say it as having 0 km per hour, and this is my final position where it is ending. So initial is from where it is starting and final is where it is ending. So if I say here it is 5 km per hour. So here my initial position speed is 0 km per hour. So I say my initial speed is how much? 0 km per hour. And my final position speed is how much? 5 km per hour. Then I say final speed is 5 km per hour. This is how you differentiate initial speed and final speed. Now then continuity of this topic, average speed. It is a total distance traveled by an object in total time. Here average speed is also represented by V. Then you say total distance, total D by total T. Units will be same as speed, that because its distance again is meter, or you can say meter S power minus 1. So this is about your average speed. Another formula for average speed is initial speed plus final speed by 2, or here speed is represented by V and initial speed is represented by U, whereas final speed is represented by V. So this is our average speed formula. Next is about average velocity. It is a total displacement traveled by an object in total time. So average velocity is again V and total displacement, total S upon total T. The units will be again same. SI units will be meter per second or meter S power minus 1. Or another formula for average velocity is initial velocity plus final velocity by 2. It means Consider an object which has to move from position A to position B. Here this is our initial position and this is our final position. It is moving with initial velocity u 0 meter per second and final velocity 6 meter per second. So from where it is starting, it's our, with what velocity it is starting is called our initial velocity, and with what velocity it is ending is called our final velocity. So this is about our initial and final velocity. So initial velocity is represented by u, whereas final is represented by v. So from this you can say average velocity v is equals to u plus v by 2. This is another formula which is associated with average velocity. So when to consider speed and average speed? Suppose if the object is moving from one point to another point, and position A to position B it has to move, then you consider speed. If there are more than 2 points, like you have to move from A to B, then B to C, then you consider it as average speed. So let's calculate speed and average speed by using two numericals. A person moving from position A to B covering a distance of 100 meter in 10 seconds. So the distance from A to B is, here the position A and this is our position B. A to B, the distance is, from here to here it is, D is equals to 100 meter, and time period is given, time period T is given as 10 seconds. We know speed is equals to distance upon time. So distance is 100 meter upon time is 10 seconds. So your answer is 10 meter s power minus 1. Okay. Now we'll see about a numerical where we solve average speed. A person moving from A to B and then from B to C. Here is the data A to B and B to C. So is covering, from A to B is covering around 200 meter and from B to C is covering around another 200 meter. So it took T1 as 20 seconds to travel and it took 10 seconds only to travel the next 200 meters. So your average speed will be total distance upon total time. So that is 200 meter plus 200 meter is your total distance by 20 second plus 10 second. That is equals to 400 by 30, which is equals to 40 by 3. Your answer will be in some decimal. So your answer is 40 by 3 meter s power minus 1. If you want to get that in decimal, it will be 13.3 meter s power minus 1. This is about average speed and speed. Now when to use velocity and average velocity. Okay. A person moving from A to B in west to east direction. Here I have specified what? Direction. Then you consider it as velocity. If I don't mention about direction, you consider it as speed and average speed. So here it is our condition. So moving from A to B and from west to east. So this is my west direction. and this is my east direction, so it is moving from west to east. If I say it has displaced in some certain amount of time with t is equals to 5 seconds, and it has displaced around s is equals to some 10 meters. Here the velocity will be displacement upon time, and displacement is 10 meter whereas time is 5 seconds. 5 and this gets to 2 meter s power minus 1. So this is about your velocity. Now what did I say? If there are only two positions from where it has to move from A to B, then I consider it as velocity. If there are more than two, then I consider it as average velocity. So now let's see about average velocity. So now we'll see about a numerical on average velocity. A person moving from position A to position B and then from position B to position C in north to south direction. Let us consider our own data where the object has to move from A to B and B to C. As this is our north and this is our south, so it is coming from north to south. I say if this is 10 meter, 20 meter, it has done this in 1 second and this is in 2 seconds. Then average velocity will be total displacement by total time. Here total displacement is 10 meter plus 20 meter by total time is 1 second plus 2 seconds, that is equals to 30 meter by 3 seconds, which is equals to 10 meter s power minus 1. So this is how you understand when to use velocity, when to use average velocity, speed, average speed. So wherever I specify magnitude, it is my scalar quantity. So example of scalar here, as we saw, is distance and speed, average speed. All these are the examples of scalar quantity. If I say magnitude and direction, then it's a vector quantity. Example, displacement, velocity and average velocity. So one thing you have to understand to represent is, if I consider AB as a distance, then I will not put a bar, whereas in displacement I have to put a bar by showing an arrow. So this is all the vector quantities will have a arrowhead showing the direction, because I have to represent the direction. So this is how you have to represent. So now I hope you understood the physical quantities which are in physics. Now that we understand about speed, average speed, velocity and average velocity, we have a basic idea about them now. Now we'll understand about uniform motion. Uniform motion. It states that if an object covers equal distances in equal intervals of time. Suppose if I have a table, distance and time, here the distance covered is 10 meter, 20 meter, 30 meter, and the time period is also 10 second, 20 second, 30 second. As I said, equal distances, see the difference between them is 10. Again, for the difference between them is 10. Here equal intervals of time, again the difference between them is 10, 10, 20, 30. So when you consider these kind of motions, then you say uniform motion. So the object is traveling equal distances in equal intervals of time. We'll try to plot this table on dt graph. Considering time on x-axis, that is t, and distance d on y-axis, that is meter small d. Here I have this as 10 second, 20 second, 30 second, 10 meter, 20 meter and 30 meter. Here if we plot the graph of uniform motion, it will be a straight line, 10, 20 and 30. So from this you can say that uniform motion is an object covering equal distances in equal intervals of time. Here you see equal distances 10, 10, equal intervals 10, 10. Okay. So from this you can say the graph of uniform motion is always straight line. Now let's see about non-uniform motion. If an object covers unequal distances in equal intervals of time, then we say that the motion is non-uniform motion. For example, if we consider distance and time, here the unequal distance is 10 meter, 40 meter, 60 meter. So here the difference is changing. Here it is a difference is 30 meter and here the difference is 20 meter. So these are unequal distances. And time is given as equal intervals, so 10 second, 20 second and 30 second. Now if we plot the graph for these, it will look like something like this. So this is our time which is taken on and your distance is taken on y-axis. 10 second, 20 second and 30 second. Okay, and this is our 10 meter, 20 meter, 30 meter, 40 meter, 50 meter and 60 meter. Okay, let's extend this. Okay, this is how. Now let's plot. When we plot, we get 10 meter to 10 second. Okay, this is somewhere here, 10 and 10 and 40 and next 40 meter and 20 second. So it will be here 60 meter and 30 second. So it will be here. As you can see, the graph is a curved graph. So the graph is a curved graph. From this you can say, so non-uniform motion graphs can be curved, irregular in the sense it could be something like this as well. So non-uniform motion, then uniform motion, this is how you have to understand about them. Our next concept is acceleration. Acceleration is defined as rate of change of velocity of an object. That is, acceleration is denoted by small a, is equals to change of velocity in certain amount of time. Consider an object at position A which has to move from position A to position B. It will have some initial velocity u and some final velocity v. So change in velocity is final velocity minus initial velocity and the time taken is t seconds to move from position A to position B. Therefore from this I can say acceleration is equals to v minus u by t. The SI units of this is, as velocity is meter per second by second, which is equals to meter per second square or meter s power minus 2. So this is about acceleration. What is acceleration? Rate of change of velocity. How the velocity changes. Suppose if you are riding a bike, if you press the accelerator, obviously you will understand the velocity will change. If you are riding a bicycle, if you are paddling more, then obviously the velocity will change. Okay. So this is about your acceleration. The last topic in this video is about uniform circular motion. If the motion of the object is uniform and in circular path, we say that is uniform circular motion. So consider an object which has to move in circle. This is my object is at this position and it has to go in this circular path like this. Then if I want to calculate my speed is what? Distance upon time, that is d by small t. If I say the object has to move from position A and make one round, so v is equals to, distance will be my circumference of circle, because the object will run on the circumference or the perimeter of the circle by time taken. So to move from here to again coming in one round, it will take some time for it to move, that is t. Okay. So from this expression of speed will be v equals to 2 pi r by time taken. So this is our uniform circular motion. If the motion of an object is uniform and in circular path, we say that it is in uniform circular motion. Considering an object, this is how we have to derive for v equal to 2 pi r, because 2 pi r is the circumference of circle. Your r will be nothing but from this center to this thing. I hope you understood the basic concepts of motion chapter. Thanks for watching the video. Please do subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon. You can follow our Facebook page at vktutorials.in. Also our Instagram page vktutorials_. Log on to our website www.vktutorialacademy.com.